A very good evening. If I am audible, please comment in the box audible and mention your names along with your colleges. Maybe it will take 1 hour or 1.5 hours. So be on live. So don't skip any part. And in the middle, at any time, I will ask to again comment in your name in your chat box. And very important thing is each and every line of your multimedia animation lab. Each and every line I will explain why we will take this tag and what will be the purpose of the program and some of the possible Viva questions asked in your examination or practical external. They may ask possible questions. I will also discuss about that topic. So be on 1.5 hour session, be on live. So don't skip any part and this video will not recorded, just it's a live. So now we'll first what is the syllabus of multimedia lab and we'll go through each and every program, what will be the purpose, why we are using that tags only, overall what will be the outcome of that program and each and every tag with an attribute explanation I will do in this live session. Along with you, just two sheets of paper with a pen so that you can take a notes of each tag and what are their attributes, why we are using that attribute, and what will be the purpose of that attribute. Everything you must know in this live class. So now we'll move on to the Tumkur University prescribed syllabus for multimedia animation lab. Yes. So all of you are with Tumkur Multimedia Animation Lab syllabus, that two lab programs. So consist of part A and part B. So part A completely deals on HTML tags, CSS, JavaScript, as well as the animation. And coming to the part B, part only discuss with the SVG, scalable vector graphics, and canvas, and also it includes canvas animation. So in the part A, 10 programs are there related to HTML tag, CSS, and JavaScript. Along with that, some up to 7 program, it will be in the topic of HTML tags, CSS, and JavaScript. So HTML is the basic one. Using that HTML only, you can execute all these programs, that to .html. Some of them include CSS for external, so they may save .css, or external JavaScript, you can save in .js. But in almost all part A and part B programs, all the files must be saved in .html. And all the programs what we are executing, that will be on the web browsers. So in this lab, the may be asked what are the web browsers, and mention some of the web browsers you are using. So they may ask like Viva questions like this. So you must know web browser is a software. So whatever you can the request means you are requesting the Google, and the server will place the web page of the Google. So here the HTTP will send the request to the server, and the server will respond to that request, and again the HTTP will response whatever the response by the server, that will be placed in your client machine. So web browsers is a software. Now mention any two web browsers like Google Chrome, Mozilla Firefox, Microsoft Edge, Opera, Safari, and other browsers are there. So you must know what will be the web browsers, what are the web browsers, and what will be that web browser softwares, and why we are using that web browser. There is no other softwares like no other software is required. Like for editing purpose, we are using Notepad or Notepad++, or you can use Dreamweaver, or you can use Visual Studio Code. Whatever you use the text editor, all the files must be saved in .html. If you are saving .html file, the whatever the file with the browser symbol, it will be displayed on your documents or in your folder. If you double click on that, it will be open in the browser itself. Why? Because .html extension. So web browsers will accept .html extension. What will be that HTML? Text markup language. Here, what is meant by hypertext? Hypertext is the meaning is just whatever you create the text, when you click on the text, it will be redirect to another page. That's why we call it as hypertext markup language. Why we are using HTML means in order to create a web pages. ವೆಬ್ ಪೇಜಸ್ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ HTML ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಫಾರ್ ಸ್ಟೈಲಿಂಗ್ ಪರ್ಪಸ್, ಫಾರ್ visible or visualization, we are using CSS, that is cascading style sheet. Along with that HTML file only, you can write CSS and as well as the JavaScript. In your HTML only, you can create graphics by using by using Canvas or by using SVG tags. Now, I'll just go through 2 minutes what will be the programs prescribed by the Tumkur University. The first program will be you are displaying the multimedia data like text, images, audio, videos on your web page. Then create and display navigation menus. So what will be the menu? Means, for example, if you open the Microsoft Word, file, edit, view, they are all menus. So if you click on that file, it will open a new file or other operations. So that we called as menus. And see here, display navigation menus. See, you are using HTML, and now in the trend, HTML5 is there. Means nowadays we are using HTML5. In that HTML5, we are using navigation tag that are called as semantic tags. Semantic tags we are using in HTML5. Same semantic tags we are not using in HTML earlier versions. You are displaying the navigation menus using list tag and anchor tag. List tag means you are using ordered list, or you can use unordered list, or you can use definition list. No matter. But they are mentioning the list tag. And anchor tag. Why we are using anchor tag means to create a link. If you click on that link, it will be redirect to the next web page or next tab web page. Next thing will be the write a HTML code to create your class timetable. Class timetable. In order to create a table in your web page, you are using table tag. In that table tag, other tags are there. While explaining, I will explain all those tags. Then the first one, write an HTML code to create Frame set means overall web page is there. In that we have to divide by using frame set tag, having header, navigation and content sections. Whole web page is divided into sections. So they are mentioning three sections: header, navigation and content. Then coming to the fifth one, write an HTML program to create student registration form, and submitting the form, check whether fields are empty or not using JavaScript. If any fields are empty, display an error message. So you have to create one student registration form by using form tag. And while click on submit, it will check whether the text box are empty or not. If in case it is empty, display an appropriate message by using JavaScript. Then these are all just we are using the HTML tags like HTML5 tags like audio, video, and some of the basic tags like image tag, again text tags like heading tags, paragraph tags, and table tags, and again list tags and form tags. From sixth question onwards, we are using the CSS. Again, in your HTML only, you can add CSS, internal or inline. But if they ask external, with the external, you have to create outside the HTML program. So you can say that is an external style sheet. So again, that will be saved in .css. Whatever the file saved in .css, just that file should be linked to HTML file for styling purpose. Then in that sixth question, you have to create a biodata or curriculum vitae or resume, and you have to change some of the following CSS properties called font. So in that font you can change font style also, and you can change the font size, or you can change the font weight also. Then text, you can change the text by using some of, you can apply color to the text. Then background, overall web page background, or you can change the text background also. That is what when in the sixth point you have to create div. Whatever the div tag we are using, that is for layout purpose. In that you have to apply some of the following properties called margin, padding, border and box shadow. Then coming to the up to fifth, sorry, up to sixth and seventh, only CSS part is there. Then coming to the 8, 9 and 10, all we are using the animations. Again, that animation that should be saved in .html, because whatever you done the animation that should be in web page. That's why write an HTML program. You have to create a box, and that box should be transform and transition properties. You have to apply those properties in order to move that box from one end to another end. That too on loading web page. This is the must and should. You must know loading on web page. When you click on that file with a double click, it will be open and the box should be moving. Then again, the ninth question, that is write an HTML program to create a circle and create an animation of bouncing of the circle for 10 seconds. You have to create a circle by using CSS, and you should create an animation for that CSS created circle, that too bouncing from top to bottom. It will be bounce up to 10 seconds. They are mentioning the time also. So whatever you write the code, that should be this logic. Then write an HTML create loading animation. When you load your web page, you have to create a loading symbol. Means a circular symbol will be there. So in your all you know about the UUCMS, when you click on whatever the application, just if you click on that view application, it will be load when the network will be slow or too many requests to the server, then again it will be scrolling. Again, another example, while you are viewing the results of your semesters or PUC or SSLC, once you enter the register number and click on submit, it will be loading circular motion will be happening in your web page. Same you have to create in your web page by using animation. So coming to the part A, all the basics of HTML, CSS, JavaScript, as well as the animation. Then coming to part B, so you have to create a graphics. So by using SVG as well as Canvas. So in coming to the 1, 2, 3 program from part B, all three programs should be on SVG tag. So you have to create a line, polyline, rectangle. Again, you have to do a star, multi-circle. So all whatever the geometric shapes, they are defined in your program. All geometric shapes having the tags in SVG. So you should use that tags and create the geometric shapes in your web page. Then coming to the 4, 5, 6, all the things will be on canvas. And coming to 7 and 8, all will be on canvas animation. So now look at the programs and I will explain why we are using the tag and what will be the purpose, and again what will be the attribute and why we are using that attribute. Now coming to program number 1, I think you can view the part A lab programs. If yes, kindly note in the checkbox part A. It's not voice breaking. Just I will pass some of the seconds and I will continuation of talking. So that's why you can create a break or delay. So just mention in the chat box part A is visible. Mention in the comment box. Okay. So now in the first program, write an HTML program to display multimedia data. So in that multimedia data, text is there, image, video, audio, everything. That is what the multimedia. So what is multimedia? They may ask questions on what is multimedia. So you should explain what is that multimedia. That is what we can contain the text, images, that content is called as multimedia. In the first program, the concept will be that you have to integrate the elements of HTML5. So HTML5 integration, that is display multimedia. The purpose is that you have to display multimedia formats like text, image, audio, video on a single web page. So you know the document structure of HTML. Again, this is the one of the YOOC possible question. Write the structure of HTML documentation or HTML document. So you know the first line will be the doc type HTML. This indicates that whatever the document, it is an HTML document. Now open the HTML tag, in that body tag. So within the body, whatever you mention the tag, that must be appear on your web page. Otherwise, if you are using in head tag, that will be on the title of the web page, means the tab column. That is whatever you write in the uh, head tag, within the head tag, that should be displayed in this title, right? Then body, so you have to create a text. So for that purpose, we are using multimedia data. And then image. For creation of image, img tag is using. See here, some of the tags are having opening tag as well as closing tag. Some of the tags having only a open tag, whatever the tags, we call it as self-closing tags. See here, the H1 will be the opening as well as closing tag. But while image tag, that is img tag, have self-closing tag. There is no closing tag, opening and closing tag. So here, img is the tag name, and you have to specify the attributes. So SRC is the source path to image file. So where that image file is having. So you have to go to that image file and copy that path and mention in the SRC is equal to, within the double quotation, paste that link or path. Then next attribute will be the ALT. ALT is used for alternative text. Why? Because if in case, if whatever you paste the path, in that path, if the file is not found or that image is not found, so before this, whatever the displaying like only a box, for that purpose, we are using Alt. Why? Because if the image is not shown in your web page, at least whatever the you prescribed in the Alt value, that attribute value will be shown in your web page. Why? Because just to mention, this is what the picture is. For example, if you're creating a college web page, you have to put a college logo. Every college has a logo. So for that web page, you have to put a logo. Some purpose, maybe it may be corrupted or it may be deleted in that path. If you are using alt is equal to college logo in that web page, if the file is not found, just it will display one fire box and mentioning the college logo text. That means here in this division there will be a college logo, but some purpose the image is not shown. Maybe image will be deleted. For that purpose we are using alt, and you have to prescribe the dimensions. What we are using the dimension is what height and width attributes. Height you can set any number and width you can set any number. So this is the image tag. img is used for creating and displaying an image, not for creation on your web page. And image is a closing and it contains four attributes. That is, first one src. You must mention this attribute. Why? Because in order to display an image on your web page, you should know the path. That's why in this src attribute, you should specify the path of a file where it is found in your web, or you can say where that file will be found in your computer. Next thing, alt, alt, that is the alternative text. Alternative text means I already explained. And what will be the name? Just you can mention in the value part. Then height and width, the dimension you are setting for the image to display on your web page. Then this is what the first, this is the second multimedia, that is what image. See in this question, they will prescribe, first one is text. This is what we are writing the text. Again, the next thing will be images. You are writing the image to display the image on your web page. Now video. So if you want to display an video in your web page, you can use this video tag. This is very important. This is a tag called video, and you are mentioning the controls. This is an attribute. This video tag contains opening tag as well as closing tag. So here the control means it will display the pause, play or volume controls. So if you are using or you know all about the YouTube. So again in YouTube there will be a pause button, there will be a play button, and there will be a scrolling bar to moving the scenes, or you can you can volume up and you can volume down. The controls, same controls will be displayed in your video on your web page. So we are using controls attribute. Then next tag will be under video source tag. Source tag contains two attributes src, that is the location, and type means you have to enter the type of the file, whether it is an audio or video. So here the type will be, this is an video file. So the type will be video slash MP4. Video slash MP4, and you have to mention the SRC, that is the location of the video where the file was found. Then the next thing will be the audio element. Again, in your web page, if you want to display an audio, again, audio tag will be using. These video as well as audio tags are comes under HTML file. Now, for that audio, again, the controls will be there. Again, for play, pause, and volume up controls, you must specify the attribute controls. Then, in that audio, again, this audio tag contains an opening tag as well as closing tag. In that audio, source tag will be there. Again, in that source, you mention what will be the source, that is, what will be the path of your file, again, and the type of the file. See here, the source will be the location of your existing file, that is to audio file, and the type of the file will be MP3 format. Again, some of the other formats will be supported. For example, .mp3, .wav, some of the other formats will be supported. So audio tag and video tags that comes under only in HTML5. In the earlier version of HTML that will not supported audio and video tag, it will be supported in your HTML5 tag. Then in that question, text, image, audio and video, and again GIF. This is an image format. So just you can image, see here in that we are mentioning the path in the source attribute JPG. Again you can change to GIF if the file is found in your local drive or in your server. Just you can mention .gif, so it will be displayed on your web page. So this is what the first program, just to demonstrate the multimedia and integrated with HTML5 document. Then the second part, whatever I explained the first program, this will be the output. See the text contents, multimedia, the image element, image. Again, the video element, that is in video. I mentioned the controls in like audio as well as video. See the controls in that. Pause or play button. Again, the volume, scrolling bar. Again, the video size. You can mention to complete screen, or you can mention in tab. In the video element, again, pause or play button. The volume control, again the scrolling, or you can move to the up to end of your audio. And again this three vertical colons, if you mention the controls within the audio or video, that then only these controls will be shown in your web page, otherwise it will be not shown. Make sure that audio as well as video you must give the controls. Next thing will be the program to create display navigation menus using list and anchor tag. So you know the actual meaning of anchor tag, that is what we are creating for linking purpose, as well as the list tag for listing some of the items. By using this tag, you can create a navigation menu. So for that, we are using HTML5 semantic tags. That is what navigation, that is NAV tag we are using. So in this program, we are using three types of levels of style sheet, like inline, internal, and external. But in this program, just I will mention the internal style sheet. So this again possible Viva question. What do you mean by CSS? And what will be the abbreviation of CSS? What will be the list tag? And again, how you can create a link in your HTML. Again, what are the types of list tag? Again, the levels of style sheet in your CSS and CSS selector forms. These are all the possible Viva questions they may ask in your external examination, that too practical. Now we'll just brief about what we are using the selectors. See, the star mark indicates a universal selector. So that means it will remove the default browser's margin and padding. See, margin and padding, we will remove that default part of your web browser, and mentioning the margin size will be 0 pixels and padding size will be 0 pixels. Now coming to the flexbox layout, means the whatever the menus that should be in upper side, you can create a flex box by using display. So display flex, it will create a flexible container. This container contains a menus. Then justify content space around. Whatever the items in that container, that will be distributes items evenly. Then align items means whatever the menus you are creating, that in that container, that whatever the menus are there, that will be in vertical center content. That's why we are using this NAV in order to create a flex box container. The display flex box justify content means you have to distribute the items, again align items. So in that container, the tags are there. The tag should be in center, and the container size will be 8 VH. That is what vertical height we are mentioning. In this output, you can this is what the output for that program. Whatever we are creating in the middle screen, that is the flex container, and whatever the items that should be evenly distributed, and whatever the items that should be in center alignment, and the minimum height of this flex box or flex container will be 8 VH. That is vertical height. Then you can mention some of the font size, not an issue for that navigation. So I mentioned the navigation font family. Again, you can create more than two font names, or you can create only one name. Then heading part, dot heading. Here we are using class selector. So class selector, so that whatever we mention class is equal to heading in the body part, this properties will be applicable. And in CSS, they may ask what will be the syntax for creating CSS. First, you mention the tag name and open a flower bracket, and in this you mention the property and then value. See the what is a property, color is a property, and for that property the value will be white. And you must close the flower bracket. This is how you can create a CSS for a particular tag. Why we are using CSS means I already told it was used for styling purpose. Now coming back to nav links means in that nav tag again links will be there, because in that program they will ask like image means a link tag, that is what anchor tag is there. So for creating a links, what will be the size? See that list style none. So you are creating a list tag as well as the anchor tag, so that the l- list style means if you are using unordered list, so by default the bullet symbol will become. For that purpose we can use list style none, means there is no bullet symbol. See in the page, so these are all what we are creating a links. These are the items that is in the flex container, and these items are using created using unordered list. Unordered list are using ul, and li. Then that whatever the items we are created by using the list tag, that will be a clickable means linking. We are using a tag. See the li a tag we are using. For every list item we are creating a links. So this is what your second program. First you mention the flex container. So what will be the flex size and what will be the items you are placing, and the item should be in center as well as the minimum height. Then you are creating a list, for example ul tag. So for you have to create a ul, so again a default symbol will be a bullet symbol. So in order to remove that bullet symbol, you have to mention in the css style this one. Then again, if you want to create a item should be a clickable means you have to create an item that will be a link item. For that purpose we are using a tag. Now pseudo class selector, that is for dynamic purpose. For any event should be happen, we are using pseudo class headers, selectors. So for that we are using hover, that is pseudo class for mouse interaction, and not dot active means exclude active links from hover effects. Then dot active class highlights the current page. See the output page so that you can know. See, I will click home page. This will be an active page. So it will highlight the current page. But other pages like about, service, contact, that will be a not active state. Means there is not an any hover effect. Then coming back to the program, HTML code to create your class timetable. Again, table tag we are using. Possible Viva questions may be like what is a table, which tag you are using to create a table, or if you want again how to create a row in a table, or how to create a column in a table, and what will be how to merge those two columns. And what will be the row spacing, call spacing? What will be the difference between cell padding and cell spacing? Again, how you can caption in your table. So all these possible Viva question may appear if in case if you are having this program at your external time. So table, cell spacing and cell padding, these are all the attribute. Cell spacing means between two cells. Cell padding means the content and a cell. That is what the definition. The cells, this 830 and 930, these are all two cells. In that there is a gap. We are calling as cell spacing. If in case cell padding means whatever the content, that is 830, and the column, that is what a cell, that too, that will be the spacing, content as well as cell, that is called as cell padding. See here, there are two column merging, means you have used row span. See here, this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 columns should be merged. That is what call span. And for creating an headings, we are using th tag. And some normal data, if you want to, if you enter a table, just you can use td tag. In order to create a rows like this, tr tag will be using. So these all table tags you must know. Then only you can create any timetable, and you can know the basic difference between cell spacing and cell padding. Then move on to the fourth program, that is a Frameset header, navigation, and content section. I already told complete web page you are dividing as a section. In your program, they are mentioning three sections. Again, whole web page is divided into three sections by using Frameset tag. See, this is very important. If you are using a Frameset tag, you not mentioning the body tag. That is very much important. You are not using body tag. See here the program. I'll creating document title, HTML, and within the head I will mention the title. Then after the head we are using frame set. There is no body tag. So just keeping in mind, if they are asking by using a frame set, you have to create some web page. You should not use body tag. Then there will be a tag frame set. In that frame set, it will contain an attribute called rows as well as rows means horizontal, call means vertical. Whole web page is divided into horizontal as well as if you need you can divide into calls. That is what vertically also you can divide. So I will use only the rows. Means you are creating three sections: heading, header, navigation, as well as the content. Now see here frame set. You are using rows means overall web page has to be divided into three parts. See here, the first part will be 50%. If you know actually the content, then you can mention the number with a percentage. If you doesn't know, just use star symbol. That means it will be allocated by default. See here, I will mentioning the header and navigation size, but I don't know the content. But if I use the star, whatever the overall 100% of your web page, that will be divided into two parts, that is what 15%, again another 15%, and remaining part will be going for the content section. That's why we are using this rows is equal to mention the size, or if you don't know the exact content of that page, then just you can use star. Or if you know the exact content of that page, then you can choose whatever the number you want. See here, 15% are there, so that's why we are creating three. Frame. Again, the frame is an tag. That too, self-closing tag. We are creating a header, then you are creating a navigation, and you are creating a content. After all, you can close set tag. So frameset tag is an opening and closing tag, and frame are self-opening tags. In that frame, we are using str and Sorry for the delay. So in this frame set tag, I think if I this, while explaining this tag or if explaining this program, maybe the voice will be not audible to you. So just I will repeat. Write an HTML code to create a frame set having header, navigation, and content. So the whole page is divided into sections by using frame set tag. This frame set tag having two attributes called rows as well as calls. So in that frame set, there will be another tag that is called frame tag. That tag will be an self-closing tag. In that frame, you can mention only the attribute src. Now, see the mention the point that if you are using a frame set, don't use body tag. I will repeat once again. If you are using a frame set tag, don't use body tag. So just create an HTML tag as well as head tag if you want the title, or directly you can go through the frame set tag. And here they are mentioning three sections. For that, we will create horizontal sections. That is why we are using rows. See the output part. I will three sections. Number one, how much the percentage I want for that section, and second section, how much percentage I want, and the rest of that we can I mention star mark. See the is to 15%, 15%, and star. If you want to create vertically, then change this rows is equal to calls, COLS. If you change that calls, then the overall web page will be in vertical sections, vertically divided into three sections. Or you can use both rows as well as calls, but mention where you have to go for a row or where you go for calls by using frame set, and don't miss the frame tag. Frame set is used for sectioning, means dividing the section. Then if you are using frame, you have to mention the path of the file. That file should be displayed on that section. See here, I will mention the path, that is header.html. See, for creating a frame set, if you are if you get this question in your laboratory, so for this you have to create one main file, and along with that main file you should create three files. What will be the three files? Header file, navigation file, and content file. Then see here, I will mention this header file. Just I will mention in that only the header section, only the title. Or if you want using H1, or you can use P tag, not an issue. But just that web page only displays what will be the web page we are using. See the header section. Coming to that navigation section. Coming to the content section. So while using frame, you are giving a src tag, means that output will be displayed in that specified sections. Look at that output so that whatever the files you are creating that will be displayed. So this is what your frame set. Then coming back to the fifth program, that is student registration form. So how you can create a forms using form tag. So form tag contains attributes called method, action, as well as on submit. Why we are using this on submit attribute means in this question they ask, you are checking the fields are empty or not by using JavaScript. So you are creating a form and last you have to submit, that is what action types you are creating. So while click on that submit or action button, so how that output will be displayed, whether the fields are empty or not. So for that purpose, we are using on submit attribute. So these are all the very important points that too while writing this lab exam. Because if you are by hearting all these programs and write, then if they are external, ask why we are using or why you write this on submit attribute, what will be the purpose. If they ask, if you are not mentioning any correct answer, then they will know you are by hearting, not anything you can understand by using this attribute, or you doesn't understand any concept in the HTML itself. That is the conclusion part for the external. That's why I will explain each and every attribute and each tag, why we are using, what will be the purpose. So mention whatever I thought, just note down all the points. So here, coming back to this fifth program, you can create a form by using form tag, and you can create some of the text box. See here, I'll just shown the output. These are all we are creating by using form tag. In that form, there will be an input, in that creating a label, text box, checkbox, again action button, submit, clear by using form tags. When you click on submit, if this text box contains an empty, it will display a message like this. See, enter student name. Here the text box will be empty. It will be alert. Enter the student name. So that's how the output of your the fifth program by using JavaScript. Again, there are two types here. Just you can mention, see the code, creating a form. This is an student name you can create by using label. Then input tag, type is equal to text. This is very much, this is very important. If you are creating a text box or if you are creating a checkbox, very much important the type as well as the name. Every text box has a unique name. See here, student name, I will use s underscore name. Student father name, I will use s underscore f name. There will be a unique name for those two text box. Just mention the type. Type is equal to text. For creating a checkbox or radio button, just input type is equal to radio. Or if you are creating a text like action buttons, just you can use type is equal to submit or type is equal to reset. These are very much important while creating a user interface. So after creating any text box, just mention required in the last. For input, this is a self-closing tag. Before closing the input tag, just type or just written required. That means it have an by default, if the text box contains an empty, then it will pop up, enter the text. That's why. But in your program, they may ask particularly like you are using JavaScript. So for that purpose, you have to return the JavaScript within the head tag. See, there may be a long format, means a long coding. The lines of the code will be around 200 or 50 or 100. Don't hesitate. Once you know the concept and once you know how this tag will be work understanding, then it will be very easy. See here, just I will create a function. For creating a function in JavaScript, use function as a keyword and function name. You know how to create a function and open a flower bracket. In that, this is very important. Creating a variable and this will be the whatever the text box content. That content will be assigned to the created variable like document dot forms means the document dot forms means overall student form name is equal to form. Okay, mention that forms. Then what will be the overall form name? Form. Then what will be the name of the text box? I told earlier you have to create a unique name for a text box. So for that purpose we are using the name of the text box. Then dot value. In that text box we are giving any character. That character will be assigned to variable A. Then they are checking whether it is empty or not. If A equal to double quotation opening and closing, don't give any space. That means there is no character. Or again equal to null means there is no character inside the text box, then you should use the alert. These are the screen output statements in your JavaScript. Alert enter student name return false. Same text box, just change the text box name, then just assign variable B, C, D for created text box or for creation of gender or for creation of radio buttons, for creation of checkbox. Just use A or that whatever you take the variable equal to null or just double quotation. If in case if they're empty, just alert message will be pop up. See the line of the code will be very lengthy. So don't hesitate, just understand what I told, then follow the procedures. See for every create text box for radio box, I will create like this. Then you know how to create a forms, how to give the input tag, and just this is the one of attribute on submit. So whatever you write the function within the head tag, you must give the name of the function with a written value. Don't give semicolon here. Whatever on submit is equal to within the double quotation written validate. Validate is the function name. See here, I will create one function validate. On submit, when you click on submit, it will return the value. That's why on submit attribute we are using. Method is equal to post. Again, there will be a possible Viva question. What will be the methods value? Post and get. What will be the difference between post and get? See, if you are writing a method is equal to post, whatever the data entered in your text box, when the user clicks on submit, complete data will be encrypted and then it will be transferred to the server or database. If you are mentioning the method is equal to get, whatever you typed in the text box, when you click on the submit button, all the data will be displayed on your URL form. URL in that is what address. All the data will be displayed. There is no encryption. And another question, what will be the method you have to specify for secured? So the answer will be a post method. If the data will not secured, like you are using method is equal to get. Okay, so these are the possible Viva questions. Expecting the form method is equal to, okay. Then once you create form, when you click on submit, then look at the output page. Enter student name. Then enter student name. See here, I will type there. Then again, I will click on submit. Again, it will ask enter student father name. Every time it will be asking. Then only the user has to type all those values while creating or while registrationing the details. So this is part we call it as validation. Again, some of the student name will be like a number, only it will take only the character, not a numbers, right? So that is what we are calling as a validation. Don't go to that validation part, just focus on the JavaScript. Once you click on submit, it will be popped like message, it will be displayed like message, please enter the student name or enter student name. Then the sixth and seventh part. Here there will be a no format. So you have to use this format only to execute this part. There is no need to any code like ಇದನ್ನೇ ಬರೆದು ನೀವು ಎಕ್ಸಿಕ್ಯೂಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ. So you can create your own biodata by using some of the tags and mention these properties. And you have to change these properties like font, text, and background. So I will wrote like just Swamiji's biodata. So this is what create only 2-3 lines and mention the properties what we are changing in the question so that you can change. See here the font style of this name will be bold and the font size equivalent to this name that will be higher. So this is what we are trying to change the following properties. See the background color. Background color will be pink. Overall web page color will be in the pink if you are using background color pink. Then font, font family, font weight, and font size. See, these are all very much important, like in theory as well as practical. Font properties. What are the font properties? You must mention font family, font weight, font size, everything you can mention. So here font family will be Times New Roman. Again, you have to change. See, the another class we have taken font family is Arial. See the dot 1 and dot part class is equal to 1 Shivanna. So that will be in Times New Roman. Coming to screen, there will be a font name changes. So this is Times New Roman, this is Arial. So that's why you have just change some properties and background color, font, again the text color. See the text color will be a black. See the dyed. That will be the text color will be in red. So now these are the properties you have to change. ಇದನ್ನ ನೀವು ಇಷ್ಟನ್ನು ಬರೆದು ಎಕ್ಸಿಕ್ಯೂಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಏನಿಲ್ಲ. Just you can create a CV, that is what resume, so that it can be helpful for further studies or again after completion of BCA if you must apply for any companies you must need a resume. So just create your resume with your HTML and change the font properties, text properties as well as background properties. Then we'll that is what DIV. I told in the earlier div is the layout in the whole web page, just creation of layouts. Like you can apply these properties while creating a div, margin, padding, border, and box shadow. So you know the margin. So margin means margin and padding. Margin means the space outside the border of an element, creating separation between elements. This is what we are calling as margins. Left, top, bottom, right. Okay. So it can be set for all sides or you can individually you can set. See this margin. I show here margin as 2 pixels. Complete left, right, top and bottom. Top and bottom, the margin will be 2 pixels. Just you can see the output, see the margin, 2 pixels are there. Okay. Then coming back to again padding means the content. Again the 12 pixels over that and this contents. Then border. You have to create a border for that. Again border. Then box shadow 10 px, 10 px, and these are all the left, right, top, bottoms, blue. So just look at the output page. The border will be is in red color and the box shadow, right? That is in blue color. So we are applying all those properties. What are the properties? Margin for whole web page, padding for this content, again the border as well as box shadow. So just remember properties and values. Same color, same values don't not be repeat. Whatever you value, if you want light green, just you can mention that. Okay. Same thing, I will create two divs. That's why in the output page, there are two divisions. This is what a layout. And we are creating a borders. And for that div tag, that is what layout. For create, we will show the box shadow. This is what your seventh program. Then coming to the eighth program, very much important. we are using animations. Again, Viva questions. Animation. What is animation? So, what is meant by interpolation? What is meant by keyframes? These are all some possible Viva questions they may ask in external. So, coming back to the eighth program, create a box and using CSS transform and transition properties, move the box to the center of the web page on loading web page. See, for creating a box, we are using width 100 pixels, height 100 pixels, background color red. So these are the CSS properties. We are creating a box in CSS. Then CSS, after creating a box, it should be moving. So for that purpose, we are using animation properties like animation name, animation duration, as well as animation delay. Animation name refers moving, that is what the name we are giving. Animation duration, total animation time, that is what 14 seconds. And delay means when you click on loading a web page, it won't take any delay. If you are mentioning 3 seconds, it will be wait for 3 seconds and then do the animation. It will do creating the animation. Whatever you done in the animation properties like keyframes, same animation will be applied after 3 seconds. Here the animation delay will be 0 seconds. That means while loading the web page, again the animation will be start. Now, the another part is very important in animation. So that is what keyframes. At keyframes. Keyframes are defined as the starting point and the ending point of the position. Like here, see here 0%, 25, 50, 75, 100. So complete overall the box will be moving from left to right, right to bottom, bottom to left, again left to top. So we are mentioning the initial state as well as the end state. That is what starting position and ending position. So keyframes and animation name, and mention within the flower bracket the initial position as well as ending position. Just you can create div, that is what layout. In that already you can create a box by using css. Just look at the web output page, box will be there. Okay, again when you click on loading, it box will be moved to this place and changing the color. Again it will be moved to the bottom, again change the color, again move to the bottom to left, that again the color will be changed. And the initial position, that is what complete initial state to end state. Then another thing, that is you have to create a circle so that that circle will be bounced 10 seconds. So for creating a circle, again you can use the CSS properties for creating a circle. The width, height, display, background color and border radius. This is the property. You can create a ball. Then animation name. That is what ball. Animation duration means zero point 0.3 seconds. Means how long it will animates. Will take animation timing function linear movement. Here linear means alternative from top to bottom, bottom to top. Then animation delay, there is no delay while you are using 0 seconds. Then animation iteration count. So animation iteration count means how much that animation repeats. Then animation direction. This is very much important. Once it will complete, it will be reverse. Means from top to bottom. Once it will complete it, again bottom to top. That is what animation direction. So these are the properties and values. If you give in this CSS, then just you can mention the from month to, that is initial position as well as ending position. This is what bouncing a ball, creating a ball using CSS. Then this is what we are bouncing. So while change bouncing, the color will be changed to yellow. Again, once it will be returned to the initial state, it will be a red. Now coming back to the HTML program to create page loading animation. So just you have to create a circle. That is what we are creating. Then you are using animation means loading means it will be circular motion formation. So that's why we are using infinite means always it will be loading. Again 0 to 100% rotation, 0 degree to 360 degree. It will be rotate. So look at the output. It will be a rotating. This is what your part A. Coming to that part B, just I will end within 10 minutes. So part B is we are creating a graphics, geometric shapes using SVG. Again, SVG is a tag. It is a container. In that container, you have to create a shapes. See the lines. To draw a line, you can use line tag. Here the properties or attributes, not a property, it's an attribute x1 and y1, that is what starting point, x2 and y2 are the ending point. Then you are using a rectangle polyline. For that purpose we are using the tags polyline and rect, and attributes are very important. So polyline, you mention the points, it will generate a polyline. For rectangle, in order to create a rectangle, you must mention the x coordinate, y coordinate, and width and height of a rectangle so that you can create a rectangle. See the output page, line, then polyline, multiple lines will be there, then rectangle using SVG. This is what we are creating a rectangle. Same thing, you have to create a star shape. Again, you can use polygon. These points are very important. Just by heart these points, or if in case, if you know how to draw the points separate page, you have to take separate page and start mentioning the pixels, x and y axis, and draw a star shape so that you mention the points. Otherwise, just you can by heart this point. Why? Because same question will be appear in theory also. In previous question paper, this question is asking like to write a HTML program to draw a star using SVG. Then multiple circle, again circle is the tag, so that Cx and Cy, these are the center of x axis and center of y axis, and then radius. So this is very important in SVG as well as Canvas. They will ask directly the tag and what are the tag attributes specified. So you are creating multiple circles. So look at the output. This is a star and we are creating a multiple circle. For creating any geometric border, you can use stroke. Then coming to the gradient. So here, what do you mean by gradient? This is a possible Viva question. Means changing from one color to transition from one color to another color. That is what a gradient. There are two types of gradient, linear as well as radial gradient. So linear gradient, how you can take and what will be the procedure and what will be the tag we are using. You must mention the tags. See here, linear gradient. Here, ID is the attribute. This is very important. While creating a ellipse or if you are creating any linear gradient, you should mention the fill grad 1. This is very much important. ID you are using, that's why you are using ash. Same color you are mentioning the linear gradient tag. Same color will be displayed in your output. That's why we are using the color fill is equal to double quotation URL and whatever the ID name, same ID name with hash symbol we are giving. See the output. I will yellow as well as red. See the output. The yellow will be changing to red. This is what a transition from one color to another color. And how much you want to color will be displayed. You must know here the offset. 35% will be yellow and 95% will be red. So this is where we can start from right to left. So mention that right to left. Then coming to canvas. So again there may be a question, what will be the difference between SVG and canvas? So how you can write SVG and how you can save the SVGs and what will be the file format of an SVG and what will be the file whatever you save, what will be the file in the canvas. In SVG we are using XML file, then for canvas we are using JavaScript file. See here canvas. So here canvas, this is also a container. In that container you should write a script and you mention the 2D animations or 2D graphics. So here this is the main important thing. Canvas is equal to document dot get element by ID, single quotation canvas, and canvas dot get context. This is also very important. Means what will be the geometric shape you are going to render in that canvas. That's why we are using document dot get element by ID, and whatever you render the graphics at what dimension will have, that is what 2D. So all these things are explained in the classes. So fill style, fill rect, all the tags should be very important. So mention tags, see the square and rectangle. Then go to the canvas tag by using drawing Bezier curve. Again, Bezier is the another JavaScript function. Just you can use begin path, move to, Bezier curve too. Why we are using those functions? Very much important. And then image. See, this is what Bezier curve using canvas. Then image. How you can externally add image into your canvas. So image will be there. You have to image, and same image will be displayed on your canvas by using draw image. So these are the some of the function with at parameters are there. Just look at the function and what are the parameters we are required that function. See, in JavaScript, it will be using camel casing. So the first function name will be in small letter. Then, for example, see here, draw image. D is the small letter, but I will be the capital letter. This is what where we are using JavaScript camel casing. So these are all the lab programs. So ಈ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ಸ್ ನ ಏನ್ ಕಲ್ತಿರ್ತೀರ ಅಥವಾ ಯಾವ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಅದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಕೆಲವು ಟ್ಯಾಗ್ಸ್ಗಳು ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಅಥವಾ HTML CSS ಜಾವಾಸ್ಕ್ರಿಪ್ಟ್ ಏನು ನಿಮಗೆ ಥಿಯರಿ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆ ಅಷ್ಟನ್ನು ಓದ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಸೇಮ್ ಟ್ಯಾಗ್ಸ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಆಸ್ಕಿಂಗ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಅನದರ್ ಟ್ಯಾಗ್ ದೇ ನಾಟ್ ಮೆನ್ಷನ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಸಿಲೆಬಸ್ ಬಟ್ ಆಲ್ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಆಲ್ HTML ಟ್ಯಾಗ್ಸ್ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಯೂಸಿಂಗ್ ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಯೂ ಟ್ಯಾಗ್ ಅಂತ ಇದೆ. MARQUE means the text will be moving from left to right. ಲೈಕ್ ನಿಮ್ಮ LED ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಡಿಸ್ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ಯಾವ ತರ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಅದನ್ನ ನಾವು ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಯೂ ಟ್ಯಾಗ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಮೇ ಬಿ ದೇ ಮೇ ಆಸ್ಕ್ ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಯೂ ಟ್ಯಾಗ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು, ಮತ್ತೆ ಏನೇನು ಅಟ್ರಿಬ್ಯೂಟ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ ಅದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಗೂಗಲ್ ಇಟ್ w3schools.com ಅಂತ ಇದೆ. ಆ ಒಂದು ವೆಬ್ಸೈಟ್ಗೆ ಹೋಗಿ ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದು ಟ್ಯಾಗಿನ ನೇಮ್ ಇದೆ, ಆ ಟ್ಯಾಗ್ ಏನಕ್ಕೆ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಆ ಟ್ಯಾಗಿನ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಕೂಡ ಇದೆ. ಅಗೇನ್ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ change the example and you can run in that w3schools.com. They provide the online execution mode. So better you can visit www.w3schools.com, and even CSS, JavaScript, everything they will mention, even though SVG as well as Canvas. So these are all the programs prescribed by the Tumkur University. Now, for this extent, I will ending up the session so that I will explain all those lab programs line by line and what will be maybe possible Viva questions also. So just look at that Viva questions and just look at the other practical part as well as theory part. Okay, so all the best for your practical examination and thank you for attending this session. Thank you.